Hey, this is James at the EverLearner. So what we want to look at here is how to create a new group. So I'm logged in here as a school admin. This is kind of the lead teacher within the school, or it could be a head of department. That person also has these rights. And I'm on my dashboard, so I'm here. If I just click on dashboard, you'll see that that's where I am. And I can click in my groups and I can look at my data for that individual group. I can switch courses, all that kind of stuff. But what I want to do is I want to create a new group. Perhaps we're at the start of the year. Perhaps we're creating a new group because we've got some students resitting a course or whatever. I use this button here for create new group. So here, a couple of things that are worth noting. First of all, you have 4 steps to take to create this group. Within each step, you have a couple of options. So first of all, I'm going to set, in my case, that the year that my group is going to complete is 2018. It's the year I'm recording this. So my group is going to complete their course in 2018. Yeah, I suppose you could put the start year if you want. The year is just for your own reference. I'm going to say that this group is a GCSE group because that's the level that they are working at. And I'm going to call it Group 1. Okay, now you want a name in here which is going to be specific. My group is called PX7S. My group is called Mr. Jones's Big Group. You need to make sure it's clear here what each or what delineates each group. Well, they're going to move on to courses. So I want to enroll a course. So here I'm going to choose, let's say for argument's sake, I'm going to choose AQA GCSE Spanish. Okay, so this is the course, a Spanish grammar course. So this is the course that this group is going to be studying. And I have to enter 3 dates. So the exam date is the date when this exam is taking place. So I'm going to say in 2018 that the exam is taking place on Thursday, the 17th of May. I'm going to say that the start date is today because this is when the data is going to start tracking for the students. And I'm going to say the end date. I want my students to have finished the course that I'm setting for them the day before the exam. So in other words, it's structuring their revision for them. I must hit add. You see that course has now been added to that group. So whichever students and teachers I now enroll to this group are going to get access to this course amongst in that entity of being this group, GCSE Group 1. So, and I want to enroll teachers, okay? Now I've got a couple of options here. I can enroll a teacher. Here are all the teachers I have available. Okay, so it could be Mr. Flitwick, Mr. Dumbledore, Ms. Lockhart, and so on. Mine, Miss McGonagall, and so on and so on. You get the theme. So I'm going to say Albus Dumbledore is the teacher, and I link that there. But I'm also going to enroll myself. Okay, so I'm going to enroll myself. I must hit add. Now, if the teacher didn't exist in the site, this is where I would create the teacher here. But I'm going to assume that my teachers for now already exist. So I'm going to cancel that. But if you had to create a new teacher account, you could do that there and it would automatically be added to this group. In terms of my students, I'm going to assume I've got 3 students. We've got Draco, we've got George, and let's say I've got a 3rd student. Let's give Hermione this group. So this is now my students in the group. The same way, if I wanted to create a new student, and I would have new student at email.com, not a real email obviously. Notice the phone number is absolutely not compulsory. This is a feature we're not using at the start of our launch, but we'll be using later for a text message service to remind students of things like assignments. You can choose to use it or not, but I'm gonna, if I create it, let me create that student. So I'm going to submit that user. You see that user goes in to my group. The new user has also been emailed with their password, and you can download your new student list. This will be the created students here. Okay, so all that being said, I now have my group nice and ready. Okay, so I've got my group done. And by the way, here, complete student profiles. Let me say that this new student is female. Okay, so I've now submitted that, and you can also put tutors in. I'm not going to do that now. So my group is now created. Okay, so my group is now created. So I can, if I want, I can just sort of go back and reflect on this. But I've got everything in. I've got my course. I've got my teachers. I've got my students. Boom. Create new group. And we now have group 1 over here. There's my group 1. And here's all of my students ready to be studying. Now, of course, Hermione and Draco are on this course in another group, so I've already got a bit of studying done. Okay, so we've got some stats coming through, but now we've got this course there. Now, if I want to edit that group, I'll hit here, but I'll show you that in another tutorial.